What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Trev. So I woke up this morning and looked at the chart. I went straight to the JURIS chart and then to the LUNC chart and saw everything was on fire, going crazy. So I'm really happy about that. Actually, let me take you over. Let's go look at JURIS real quick. So yesterday I was kind of bitching and whining a little bit. And I said, I'll stop whining as soon as it gets to 5075. Well, we didn't get there yesterday, but we got there today. So, no, I'm not whining anymore. I'm really happy about the way that this thing is moving. I really am. Let me expand this a little bit just so it's maybe a little easier to see. Now, I've got this regression tool I love to use, and I set it from the very beginning of the project up until now, and it shows a nice, steady incline. Bullish momentum. We're doing good. We're going higher and higher, higher lows, higher highs, doing really, really good. Now, yeah, we had this crazy run up way up in here. I think you can see, way up in here, we can see that. And it seems like it had come down, but it's come up so much that it still has, from the beginning, that it still has this regression tool kind of pitching upward. Now, this last little run, and these are daily candles, okay? So I just want to zoom in on that a little bit. Over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or so, the last 2 weeks, anyway, we have been in just this really, really nice pattern, moving steadily upward. You know that our high was... Well, if you want to go to that wick, it was up here at 1-1 somewhere. But I'm gonna go kind of down in here. To me, this was kind of our main high. Like, it was the highest candle, daily candle anyway. Our highest daily candle was 8.6. We're not really that far away from that. But what I've been looking at, and I said yesterday in a tweet, that I thought we would probably travel between 6.5 and 8 for a while. I think that's where we're going to get to, and then we're going to kind of move sideways for a little bit. I think that's what we're going to do. And the reason I was thinking that is because let me see if I can do this. If I go like this and then get one of these, I'll get rid of, let me get rid of this first off, make it easier for you to see. Yeah, if I do this, put this line right across here, and let me make it red so it's easier to... this right here, you see this last run, we ran up to around the 8 mark and then bounced back down, and that's when we started coming down, down, down. So it's a little bit of a resistance. And if you remember, I just said that highest kind of daily candle, not counting the wick, that wick was nuts, but the next highest candle was somewhere around 8.6. So that 8 range seems to be a little bit of a resistance area. Also, remember, back here, this was before we really started talking crazily about Protocol X, which we now have graduated to JURIS Protocol. So we made that little run up, and I'm thinking that we might bounce off of the 8 at this point as well. Maybe get a little pullback. And if so, I'm probably going to try to scoff up some more as quickly as I can. But even if it doesn't do that, even if all the hype of everything that LL is coming out with as far as all the information about the legal stuff, about the money that has already been collected, about the contracts that have been signed, about the imminent beginning of development on the protocol, after, some audits and this and that, with all this information and with LUNC running for various reasons, we could blow right past that 8. We could blow past it. And if we make a run at 10, right, losing a 0 and getting the 1, bringing us up to a 10 FDV as opposed to the 7.5 I'd say that we're at right now, I don't know where it's going to go after that, because the information is going to start coming, like I said before, fast and furious as we actually get into the actual development phase. And milestones are completed and things are actually being tested. that, can be seen by everybody. And little bits and pieces of it, that I don't know if they'll want to do this, but actually as every milestone is completed and it's tested and everything's fine, you've got an actual component of this protocol that you can actually use that is functional, right? You don't even have to wait for the whole thing to be done. I'm not sure which way they're going to go with that. If there are bits and pieces of it they might want to start implementing, I don't know. But it can be done. As all that happens, if we're climbing and we're going crazy right now without even being in development, like in development, where's it going to be after we are? It's nuts. I just bought a little more. Where am I? Let me come down here. Here's me. I bought another 20 million, and I bought it at 575. People might say, well, you're in that blue section of the regression tool right now. That's kind of the, kind of the hold area. But for me, that's the hold area / DCA area. It isn't until we really break out of that and over this line altogether that I would say, yeah, you might want to hold on to it right now, because we're probably going to be looking at a bit of a pullback. But right now we're still in that DCA area, and because we see this thing going so much higher, again, more than 10xing or 15xing from here, LL is looking for that $100 million market cap, which is absolutely and totally doable. Buying or DCAing here into, in the 7.5 range, the 8 range, even if we miss a zero, lose a zero, to start DCAing in at that point really is nothing, because I believe, this isn't financial advice because I don't have a crystal ball, can't tell you the future, but I believe that we're really not going to have a problem getting to, it might take some time, but I think that we will get to that 100 million market cap. And so anywhere between here and, I don't know where you want to call it, DCAing in, you're going to look back at it one day and you're going to say, oh my goodness. I mean, remember when it was 5 zeros 9? Remember when it was 4 zeros 2, right? And you're going to wish that you're going to be saying at that point, I wish I had added more back then. I wish I had added more back then. If we get to that point, which I think we will, can't promise it to you, can't guarantee it, but all signs say that we will. I don't see anything that would stop it. This thing is a runaway train. It is an excellent, excellent program, platform, protocol, whatever you want to call it. It's an excellent investment. It's a safe investment because you know the people that are developing it. You know nobody's going anywhere. You know that LL has received large sums of money from family and friends, including his own dad, to make sure that this thing flies, make sure that it goes. I can tell you, and he's never said this to me, but just in conversations we've had, I think if that guy had to take on another 2 jobs, right, on top of what he's doing right now, and take all the income from those jobs and put it into JURIS to pump the chart, to get FOMO going, whatever he's got to do to make this thing work, he will absolutely make it work. It is his passion, second to his girlfriend, but it is his dream, it is his baby, and I haven't seen anybody pushing anything like this. It's absolutely nuts. That's not true. There are some other projects that I've seen those teams are really pushing hard too, and they're probably going to be just as successful, but I would say he's pushing as hard as anybody I've ever seen push. So I've got a lot of confidence. I just bought a little more. Maybe during the week, or maybe next payday or whatever, I buy a little more. I don't even care where it is. I would love, what was the total that I said I had? 2,155,000,000 or something like that. Somewhere around there is what I have right now. I mean, honestly, I would really love to have 4 billion. 4 billion. I can't afford to buy that, right? Because right now what I have is worth about 16 grand. I'm not going to have 16 grand or even 10 grand or even 5 grand maybe to put into this. So, if there are some big pullbacks or whatever, I'll add what I can, but I just want to keep adding because here's the thing. I want to keep my 2 billion. This is my plan. I want to keep my 2 billion, and that's what I want to let run. I want to let that run up to that 100 million market cap, and I'm hoping beyond that maybe. Now that might take a year, 2 years, whatever it takes, 3 years. I don't really care. And don't, again, this is off the top of my head. I'm not saying this is what I think it's going to take. I have no idea, right? But I want to let that 2 billion just ride and really just kind of fly, right? And the rest of it that I'm adding now is what I want to use to take little profits along the way. Some people, when I say I want to take profits along the way, they're like, no, hold. That's crazy trading. It's just not smart trading. You should always take profits along the way. As soon as you can, you set a plan and you set a point where you at the very least want to pull out your initial investment. So now you're riding free. If something happened, if the world went into World War III, God forbid, right? And everything started crashing, you're in it for nothing because you already took out your initial investment. So whatever happens, it kind of sucks, but you didn't actually lose anything. If you take profits along the way, in fact, profits, not just what you put into it, but profits, either way, you kind of made something, right? So fingers crossed, none of that catastrophe kind of stuff happens. This keeps going, and the extra that I add now is what I will use to actually take my profits here and there. Again, that's my plan. Plans are always subject to change. And that's kind of it for now. There's going to be a space. I got to check what time it is. I don't even know what time it is right now, but there's going to be a space today with Trader Rocco. I'm sure LL is going to be there. I'll be there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be there to chat or just to listen. I got some things going on today. But catch it if you can. Go to Trader Rocco's account on X, and if you're not following, make sure you follow him and catch that space today, because I have a feeling there could be some alpha that is dropped that maybe none of us know yet. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.